All right. We are live today. We're going to go through a deal in Poinciana. So let me just double check the audio really quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me just double check everything is working. So let me just double check. All right, we're in business. So this is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1406 Kissimmee Court, 1819 square feet. This is an FHA loan that you're taking over sub 2. So just so everybody remembers, a sub 2 deal is when you're taking over the existing loan and you're not assuming the loan. So you're just taking over the payments for this property. So the principal balance remaining is 297,844. The PITI, this is the number we care most about, the 2170.10, 5.625% interest rate. That's not bad. HOA $82. Long-term rental is $1,900. So in the future, if your exit strategy is a long-term rental and right then and there they say that the long-term rental is lower than the PITI, I mean, that's as good of a bet that you can assume that this is not going to be a deal. But let me go ahead and, hey there, happy Saturday. All right, so just to walk it out, right, why this is not a deal, like in any situation, right, to avoid burnout, you want to be able to quickly rule out deals. Look at this number, look at this number. That's how I rule it out. But let's walk it out just to really kind of prove out why this is not a deal. Okay, let's look a quick look at the property. Let's see if I see any photos here. Not bad. I mean, looks pretty turnkey. You got a little bit of carpet there, but you could almost get away with not renovating any of the flooring. Got a little hot tub here. Huh, maybe you can turn the sunroom into an actual bedroom. That would be the only thing I can think of creatively that you can add this into an extra bedroom. Okay, so this property is in Polk County. So the first thing I want to do is get the rent ceilings for this area. So that's the small area FMR. You just Google HUD FMR, click on small area FMRs, and then you can click on the state and the county. This is zip code in 34759. 34759. Boom. Your rent ceiling for a 3-bedroom is $2,250. Let's go ahead and put that down. 2250. And your rent ceiling for a 4-bedroom is $2,810. That's a pretty significant jump from a 3-bed to a 4-bed. 34759. 34759. So that's the only way I would consider whether or not that might be a deal, right? If I can potentially increase my rents. Now, let me get the market rent because that's the most important number. And you can get that by going to affordablehousing.com, going to the market rent estimator in the owner section, plug in the address, plug in the bedroom count. And the most important number here is going to be the number here on the bottom right. So there's 2 websites. The first one is HUD FMR. HUD FMR is the federal fair market rent that is usually used for the rent ceiling for a property. The second number you want to get is you want to go to affordablehousing.com, go to the owner section, click on market rent estimator, plug in the address, and then plug in your bedroom count. And this bottom right number here, it's going to show you that on average for 25 units within a 0.95 mile radius, average rent is $1,781. Okay, that's kind of close to what the wholesale disclosed to us, right? If you thought about it. Wholesale disclosed $1,900. We're seeing average rents of $1,780. So that's not bad. That's pretty close. You'll probably get it closer there. But I'm going to write this number down, $1,781, because I want my partners to know just exactly what I found during my research, because they're pretty well aware of how I research it. I'm going to take down the rest of these rents so that they have a little extra data point. 1782, 1940, 1782, 1940, and then the county is 1979. Okay. Now I want to get the rents for a 4-bedroom because I want to see creatively, can this turn into a deal? 1967. So That's not going to be a deal. 1967, because even your best case scenario, 1967. Now, you have to use 1967 and not 2810. Why? That's because of the rent reasonableness test. Okay. The rent reasonableness test states that you cannot charge more rent when you compare it to an unassisted unit. Okay. An unassisted unit just essentially states that you can charge more rents to a renter simply because they're a voucher holder, right? For the obvious anti-discriminatory reasons. So when you compare rents, and if you just went ahead and thought 2810 was going to be your rent for the property in Section 8, I think you would be mistaken, because every housing authority has to use the rent reasonableness test. And when they see that most properties within a 25 units within a 0.66 mile radius is only rented out for 1967, that is, you're gonna have a hard time proving your case to get $800 more than what the market rent is. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And we can always go through a certain language if you guys do want to see that on another property's website. Okay, but let's keep walking it out on this property. So this property, the asking price is, let's plug in some of these numbers. And for those of you that want to watch full screen, you always go to youtube.com/@Kent_HU. I'm just going to put it side by side so everybody can look at it together. Principal balance 297,844. 297,844. I don't really care about the cents because we're back into the amount anyways. 5.625. 5.625. FHA loan. Monthly PITI is 2170.10. Okay. So whenever you get a number with the PITI that's already been provided, you can go to the section right here called property taxes. And you can simply do equals 2170.10. And you're going to subtract the principal of the subto loan and subtract the interest portion of the payment from the subto loan. Okay. That allows you to back into your property tax amount and also your insurance costs. Now, because this is an FHA loan, I can already tell that someone was living there as a primary residence, because that's the intention of an FHA loan. So usually you can add at least $25 to $35 for insurance if you turn it into a rental property. Generally, there is a higher premium associated with it. Okay. So for the property, I'm going to do equals 297,844. And I'm just going to add $30,000. I'll do $20,000. Because I'm assuming there's $20,000 in cash to seller, arrears, assignment fees, whatever that might be. And I'm going to assume there's not a $10,000 assignment fee. I'm going to leave my closing costs at roughly 2.5%. And for my renovations right now, the property looks like it's in pretty good shape. I might just set aside $3 a square foot just to cover some very minor things such as painting, etc. But you might even be able to save on some money on like repairing the toilets or whatever with so much money that you have extra. So that gives me about $500 for landscaping, another $1,500 for the roof, just in case there's any issues that I did not spot, but I assume it's in good shape because someone's living there already. That gives me a total rehab number of roughly $9,000. Okay, $9,000. Plug in all the numbers right here. I'm gonna assume my rent is $1,781 as a 3-bedroom. I got 10% for my maintenance. I got $82 for my HOA. I got 10% for my property management. And I got 5% for vacancy. I didn't even have to look at the crime score because I knew it wasn't going to be a deal. But you can do that if you would like to. But I just want to walk it all the way out for all of you today about what the actual cash flow is. Now, remember, right, when we looked at the deal firsthand, we said, okay, PITI 2170, LTR 1900. I already knew it wasn't a deal. Now, this is just walking through the entire example and showing you, okay, if you were to go ahead and go through this, how much money would you really lose on this deal? Well, in this scenario, you'll be losing roughly around $950 on this deal, which results in a negative 24% cash and cash return. So for me personally, that's not a deal. Maybe it's a deal for someone who wanted to pursue a midterm rental or short-term rental, but that's not what I'm passionate about. If you want to look at how I analyze midterm rentals, I've done videos on that. If you want to see how I underwrite short-term rentals, I have a huge hour-long video on Business Insider that also goes through how I analyze short-term rentals because I have a few of them myself, right? So I love it. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in today. It's Saturday, but we're staying consistent. I'm a little sick today, so excuse me for my voice, but we're going to stay consistent, right? The skill I'm working on this year is the skill of having no excuses. And no matter what, we're going to stay consistent together. And all you have to do is copy my homework. I met a few people today that said they don't really know how to start making content, or they don't really know what to do. And sometimes that could be a little scary and cause a little anxiety. If that is someone like you, well, you don't need to overthink it. All I'm suggesting is for you to copy exactly what I'm doing. Use the same property today, using the same spreadsheet, put it on your own YouTube channel, and also show people how you can quickly roll out a deal that's not a deal for an affordable housing play. If you do that, you also get some credibility, because sometimes it's really important to know what is not a deal, right? You got to know what is not a deal. And sometimes when people want to buy 100 rentals, guess what? You probably have to analyze 1,000 rentals. So just remember, all it takes is 18 minutes a day for you to analyze a deal. And in 365 days, you will be better at analyzing deals than 95% of the world. That's what happens when you compound consistency over time, over and over again. So do it with me. I know it can be a little lonely when you're doing it. It can take some time, but we're doing it together, and we're going to lift each other up. And that's why I really hope when you look at the video today and you find a portion that maybe you can explain it a little bit better on your own YouTube channel, I would love for you to do that. That is the whole point of why we do this together, is to lift each other up and encourage each other to keep on going, even when things get hard, even when things get mundane. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a happy Saturday. I hope you spend some quality time with your family and friends this weekend. And I'll be back here tomorrow again for day 176. All right, everybody. Have a great night. And just remember, everything today has been for entertainment purposes only, and I have not been soliciting any investments. This is not investment advice. Have a good one.